to give a super quick summary of what it is that you were talking about?
Yeah, well, to start off with, I think I've taken way too many tasks on board, right? I think I've taken on the social media. I've also taken on I'm doing Finish More Music, which is another kind of grind of finishing music. And then I'm trying to release tracks as part of that and then do my day job at the same time. So they're the kind of three things that I'm doing that are basically 24/7. So there isn't, I'm not finding it stressful, but I'm finding I'm not getting the results that I want to get,
Right.
So
So you know
I
what?
think in the group, sorry, Denise, I think I posted about Instagram and being frustrated with, like, you do a post and then you have to redo it again because you've realized that you haven't followed you put the wrong post in the wrong section and then you have to type it all again and that kind of thing. So yeah, more frustration with the tool than anything else.
Right. Okay. So I had lots of ideas, and so we're just going to hit some things, and
Perfect.
if it doesn't pertain to you, it might pertain to somebody else. So it's for the greater good anyway. Mm-hmm. Okay. So one of them is, so I think I saw the post that you were talking about. And I have to say, when I saw it like come across my feed, first of all, I said curse words, but it was because the post looks so good. And I was like, why is this guy even in here? He doesn't need this. I need this. This is ridiculous. So, a little comparison thing that was going on. But then when I heard you talk about what it took to create that post, if it's the one that I'm thinking of, if it's not, then it still applies anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, oh my God, I'm very, very curious if this guy considers himself a perfectionist in other areas of his life or at all. Everywhere, right?
Yeah, and then I don't achieve it as well, and then I don't release it, or I don't release the music, or I don't do whatever, as a result. Yeah. So
I'm so glad you're here. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm going to say something that's probably going to piss you off. Are you ready?
Do it. I'm all for crushing perfectionism at some point in my life.
Okay, great. So I know nothing about Instagram. However, I have heard some of the things that Rocky has said. And one of the things that she has talked about is a post that gave her really high engagement. Are you ready for what it is? Have you heard this? I'm going to tell you because I'll tell it quicker than Rocky will. What should I have for lunch? That was the post that she highlighted.
Incorrect. I'm hungry. What should I eat?
Whatever. It was about lunch. When she said that, part of my soul died, because one of the things that I absolutely hate about social media is like those pictures of lunches. I'm not saying she even took a picture. It wasn't even that. I swear to God, it was just like one of those squares of a color of a background, and she literally just typed those words. And that was her highest engagement. Please start tapping. Doesn't that like kill you? Isn't that like a knife to the heart?
Yeah.
It is, right?
It's like a knife in the heart, yeah.
Yeah, so the rest of you, if you want to just follow along, because we're about to get into it. And I swear, Des, I'm not crushing your soul like for my enjoyment. This is for your benefit. But I really want you to feel how terrible it feels to think of the days you spent on your post. There's a reason we focus on the negative for the rest of you guys. Like, I'm not a cruel person. To focus on that, Des, and then know that Rocky's highest engagement post was, I'm hungry. What should I have for lunch? Printed, just typed. Like, how long do you think that took her? Just guess, Des, just guess.
20 seconds, an hour, a minute.
Right? Like,
an hour at tops.
It doesn't even matter what the truth is. So Rocky, don't even say it. But right. And how long did you spend?
A couple of days, probably.
Just feel
probably
that pain.
Probably about 8 hours in total, actual.
Okay, but over the course of several days.
Yeah.
And there was heartbreak in between, because you'd post it and then things would get rejected, or there were errors, you had to fix it, you couldn't figure it out. Like, it was a painful process.
Yeah, exactly.
Breathe. Maybe there's a better way to look at this.
Maybe
Repeat
there's a
it.
better way.
Good. Maybe there's a different approach I can take.
Maybe there's a different approach I can take.
Maybe I'm not doing this in the best way.
Maybe I'm not doing this in the best way.
I'm thinking of different things to say that aren't, terrible. But I can't post, I'm hungry. What should I have for lunch?
I can't post that I'm hungry and what should I have for lunch.
Right? I mean, I've seen the magnum opus post that you created. But I'm curious, how do you feel about literally posting on like a black background, I'm hungry, what should I have for lunch? How does that feel to you? And I'm going for emotional truth, not intellectual truth.
It feels kind of not techno related.
I can never post that.
It feels not art related. Let's put it that way. So yeah.
I could never post that.
I can never post that.
I can never post that.
I could probably post it, but I'd probably be questioning myself afterwards.
Okay, wait, who would reject you afterwards?
Me, I'd reject myself probably afterwards.
I won't allow myself to post that.
I won't allow myself to post that.
Good, breathe. That post is beneath me.
That post is beneath me.
Good. That post is not up to my standards.
That post is not up to my standards.
Good. It's not up to my personal standards.
It's not up to my personal standards.
It's not up to my professional standards.
It's not up to my professional standards.
It's not up to my artistic standards.
It's not up to my artistic standards.
It's not what I stand for.
It's not what I stand for.
It's not what I represent.
Yeah, it's not what I represent.
Good. Keep breathing, keep tapping. Maybe I can look at this in a different way.
Maybe I can look at this in a different way.
Maybe there's a better way for me.
Maybe there's a better way for me.
Because the truth is, my other posts are taking way too long.
My other posts are taking way too long.
And I have other things to do.
And I have other things to do.
And ultimately, one of the things that I want from social media
And ultimately, one of the other things I want from social media
is engagement,
is engagement.
is to give the opportunity for people to connect with me.
Is to give the opportunity for people to connect with me.
That actually is important to me.
That is actually important to me.
Because my music needs people to hear it.
Because my music needs people to hear it.
And actually part of the strategy
And actually part of the strategy
is to build the audience first.
Is to build the audience first.
Or at least at the same time.
Or at least at the same time.
As I'm making my music.
As I'm making my music.
Because if I abandon the connection.
Because if I abandon the connection.
To focus on creating the music.
To focus on creating the music.
Then when I'm finished with the music.
Then when I'm finished with the music.
I won't have anybody to listen to it.
I won't have anyone to listen to it.
And that would truly be heartbreaking.
And that would truly be heartbreaking.
So maybe there's a different way to look at this.
So maybe there's a different way to look at this.
Maybe I don't have to take myself so seriously.
Maybe I don't have to take myself so seriously.
Maybe I can cut myself some slack.
Maybe I can cut myself some slack.
Maybe I can come up with my own version of I'm hungry, what should I have for lunch?
Maybe I should come up with my own version of I'm hungry, what should I have for lunch?
maybe it would be smart of me
Maybe it would be smart of me
to develop a list of quotes or sayings or phrases
to develop a list of quotes or phrases
or sayings or whatever.
Yeah.
That one day I choose to take a small amount of time to stick on a solid color background.
That I can choose one day to put on a plain solid background.
Yeah. And then I have them ready to go.
And then I have them ready to go.
I don't have to make this so hard.
I don't have to make this so hard.
And to the part of me that thinks that everything has to be hard to be worth it.
And to the part of me that thinks everything has to be hard to be worth it.
I'm just going to ask that part of me to take a back seat to this exercise.
I'm going to ask that part of me to take a back seat to this exercise.
Just for a little while.
Just for a little while.
Just on the things that aren't mission critical to me.
Just on the things that aren't mission critical to me.
Go ahead, stop and take a deep breath. Okay, think about, I'm hungry. What should I have for lunch? How does it feel now?
Easy.
Would you do it?
Yeah, I'd do it. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
The other side of me is telling me, oh, I thought you'd just be copying. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'd do it. Yeah, I'd do it.
Okay, so I did say your version.
Yeah.
But also, I think it would be hilarious if like all of us just did that and then see what happens, see if other people start doing it. I think that would be funny. But
I'm down to that. We should totally go out with the same post. We can change colors maybe on the same time and just see what happens. Please, let's do that. It was fucking beautiful. Like I had tears in my eyes because I know, like Des, I know you for quite some time. You are with me for quite some time. It looks like I have run this thing for it. And you are a magician, Denise. You have, I saw many people do tapping in videos, but you have a way of taking us there, and it's beautiful. And I'm so grateful that you exist and your mom and your father made you.
Nice and easy.
Yes.
You're welcome. Yay. And so I had other ideas too. So while I've still got you, Des, and like I said, if the phone dies, then just watch the rest of this. Because part of what we do is, so to any problem or issue you have, there is an emotional component to it and a practical component to it. And somebody can tell you the practical solution to your problem, but if you are upset, and Des said, like, he's not stressed, people have misconceptions about what stressed actually is. Stress literally is, it's not the thing that is stressing you out. It is the thoughts, the feelings, or the physical sensations in your body in response to the thing that is stressing you out. So it may not feel like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But if he is having thoughts like he did, which are my artistic integrity will not allow that, that's a thought that is getting in his way, right? If he's thinking that every post that he does has to be like the work of art that he had created, no, it actually doesn't.
Yep.
I could go on and on about that.
No, and extra, please guys, don't forget the detail. The fact that we have 100 people following us, they don't see it. They have a thing named algorithm, and the brain trick us to say, oh, I have 1,000 followers, or I have 100, or I have 10. Why just 10 did like? It's because I'm shitty, and it's not. It's not. The computer is made for that. They want you to run ads. Okay, please don't forget that.
So here are some just practical things that I want to say. Because now that the stress response has gone down, you are now more likely to take in this information as something that you could use. And other people are going to be able to use this too. So one thing that happens is if we don't have a lot of time, if we have other commitments and obligations, there's two ways to look at accomplishing a goal, or two ways to measure that a goal has been accomplished. And one of them is the end result. So that would be oh gosh, the words are leaving me now. But anyway, it's result focused. The other is process focused. So success might be measured by the amount of time that you are spending. And if you devote 30 minutes a day, 15, 10 minutes, whatever the amount is, as long as you spent that time. And sometimes when I have that as my goal, sometimes it's just setting my computer up and I get to the time and then I don't even work on the thing until the next day. But if I did it, I got my little check, I at least made progress. And that's something that I realized that I had stopped doing this past week because I was so focused on this other thing. And then I completely let this stuff go. So anyway, focus on an amount of time and know that give yourself the gift of taking a moment to look at your time strategically and decide, okay, what things am I actually going to focus on this week? And how much time am I going to devote daily or weekly or whatever works for you, right?
Yep.
So that's thing one. So measure your success by that amount of time. And don't do the perfectionistic thing of telling yourself that really it doesn't count unless you actually spend more time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, cool. The other thing is work on your social media post, like batch the work. So maybe in this 30-minute time slot, you're just going to come up with a list of those phrases and quotes. Maybe the next 30-minute time slot that you do, you're going to come up with your backgrounds, not complicated ones, super simple ones.
Okay.
Chances are if it pisses you off or if it would have pissed you off before the tapping, it's perfect. Right? Okay. And then the next 30 minutes, you put them together. And then maybe someday you come up with a calendar. So I don't remember which call it was, but DJ Mogo came up with this great thing. Oh, it was Gretka's. A great thing about like coming up with a social media calendar.
Yeah.
So like on Mondays, you do some certain kind of post and Tuesdays, you do whatever post.
Yeah.
That eliminates the decision making. So you don't have to take time doing that.
Mogo talks about that. I think on our first masterclass, he explained what is his framework. Maybe I should ask him to do a video explaining his framework. It's really interesting.
Yeah, because it was at the end of Gretka's tapping. It was great.
Yeah.
So that ought to make it easier for you, especially if you combine that with the exercise that Rocky has about what are the things that you want to say in your social media so that your stuff fits, so that you're not spending time like coming up with the idea. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, no,
okay.
I recall that from Javier's what he mentioned, and I didn't do it, but I need to block out time to actually just do each little bit one like batch like you're saying. I think it makes sense for sure.
Yes. And especially now, if you are no longer looking that everything has to be like, you know, the Sistine Chapel ceiling.
Yeah.
Cool.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Des. Bye.
Go.